Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of Fundamental Analysis. First of all, I'd like to apologize about the sound quality, however I'll have to do with what we've got, and I can't help but notice a lot of questions of people asking on the Highlands Natural Resources Board, and having known this company since back when it went from 5p to 78 pence and downwards. I've loved to trade it ever since then anyways, but hasn't done me so well. But what we're going to be going through today is the fundamental analysis as stated in the channel YouTube analysis, which I'm just starting up today. I'm hearing there's a lot of drama going on regarding the share price movements and regarding potential dilution to shareholders. However, there is also some form of non-dilutive funding. But this non-dilutive funding is unclear whether it's because it's inside info or because there's something dodgy going on behind the scenes. There's one prominent figure on the scene by the name of Diamond on the LSE site, London South East, and he's been talking about potential doubts in the company. However, there's a nice presentation coming up in the following week, or I think the week after the following week, I'm not too sure. And it's a very confusing situation, as you can imagine. And I think most people who could view this video will be HNR shareholders, and I guess this will be some kind of fundamental analysis that I can put towards to you and say that actually there is either a worry that we have to look at, or there's a side to look at from both sides, both perspectives. Alright, so let's get into this. First of all, we're going to go to the RNSs and analyze what we've seen as of recent. So, the most recent RNS had the share price spiking to 38 and then eventually I think falling back to 29 at the end of the day. So it seemed to have been kind of a spike, maybe a market manipulation game, maybe a misunderstood RNS, who knows, because the spike, I think it lasted only a few minutes, who knows. So what I'm going to talk about is the first RNS that did come out. This was the independent analysis of the core projects. This had upped the MPV value estimation of the assets in HNR. For example, their DT Ultravert project went up from 56 million of an NPV with a 10% success rate to 78 million to 131 million approximately. I think that's off the back of my head. And then there's one project they have going on called the East Denver Farming project. I think they're working on getting a JV for that, I'm not sure. But it's supposedly going to return their investment within 11 months and much more, because it's been up to 3 or 4 times the value it was projected a few weeks ago. And if we look back in the old RNSs, we can see one main aspect of the company. Their main asset is DT Ultravert. This is their refracking technology developed by Mr. Paul Mendel. I'm not sure if he's a doctor or not, but that's out of the question. And this company is looking to use this industry-breaking technology, execute some deals with potential customers. For example, Schlumberger they have an agreement with to drill some wells. But the one problem I have in particular, if I'm going to take my personal view in, if Schlumberger has consistently been funding these guys and agreeing with their project and potentially wanting to take this further to the next level, how have they been unavailable as of a sudden period to end up having Highlands pay for their own drill? And on another side, this tool down the well does sound a bit suspicious. However, I'm not going to dwell on it because it could be an honest mistake. So we're going to leave it there. We're also going to backtrack on the past, where there's been a warrant issue to raise money for the company. I think it was an interesting way to raise money, as opposed to a placing and flat out behind the nose of the shareholders. However, these warrants had been forward sold previously before mentioned to the market, which is one scary thing for current shareholders. And say if there was going to be a warrant scenario again, there are 60 million, I think, or 30 million in the hands of Robert Price, the CEO of the company, and a few more in Diversion's hands, but not something significant as of previous events. However, if these were to be put back in, there are signs of forward selling, but this could just be overall market manipulation, and when the warrant scenario was there, maybe no people had been selling off in it, who knows. But for the future of this company, we should see a bright outlook, because if you're valuing a company on the market at 600 million US dollars, God knows what's correct on that. How can we infer in which valuation is clear to the company, because it's just a number on a piece of paper, isn't it? Signed by RPS or CPR or whatever this is. But to be valued at 17 million, there has to be some kind of substance to it, right? Or is this market manipulation? Who knows? However, there is something going on in the share price currently, drifting. Usually it gets to a level where it bounces. And if I was going to trade it in particular, from my YouTube analysis perspective and fundamental analysis, plus a bit of charting, I would probably look for a 24 to 26 level for a bounce, then a reversal into 36 of a resistance, 36.5 exactly. However, we don't know what's going to happen with this funding scenario, do we? So I'm steering clear. However, it is a good long-term play, but not a flat-out short-term play. Thank you very much. That's been YouTube Analysis with Kia. See you around.